What would I do if I had little or no budget and I was trying to scale my business? That's a really good question. So here's the deal. When I was first starting in business, 2014, I did have a limited budget, and I had big goals, big dreams, but I had to be very careful with every single dime that I spent. So basically, I left a six-figure job. My wife and I had some good savings built up, but we were also investing in properties. And we had a kid that just was born. Our little Josiah was just born. And I had to be careful with every single dime. And oftentimes it was really frustrating because I felt like I was, I wanted to do so much, but I felt that I had limited resources to be able to do it. And one of the most powerful, events that I've ever been to is a Tony Robbins event. And that really changed how I thought about business, because I thought my growth was determined by how many resources I have. And while that is true, and there is truth to that, it helps, there's a lot of businesses that fail, that completely freaking fall on their face, that have millions of dollars, and they shut down, and they have to lay off their employees. So if you look at the success that you're trying to go after, it's not just about your resources. Because if that was the case, then every business that had $1 million, which if you look at the businesses in Silicon Valley that get well funded, I think last I read, it's like 80% of them still fail. So it's not the resources. So what is it? And this is what I heard from Tony. He said it's not the resources you have, it's about how resourceful you are with what you have. It's about your resourcefulness. And that's such a simple phrase, but I really, really want you to think about that. So what I would do is, if I had no budget, or if I had to start over from scratch, I would do what I did before. I would look at all the areas of opportunity, and I use the term optimization. Okay, so I'd look at all the areas of opportunity, and I would put my strategy hat on, and I would ask myself honestly, am I doing the fundamentals the right way? And here's the thing: most businesses, they shouldn't be spending money in the beginning. A lot of it, you can have different budgets, but your issues are the fundamentals. See, until you get the systems in place, you put money into the system. It's like trying to build a house on a rocky foundation. It's just literally, you're gonna be putting money on a fire, right? Instead of a rock solid foundation. So the whole key is to focus on optimization and systems before you start stoking or start putting the money on this fire, when all your hard-earned assets will just go up in flames. And so what I did is I focused on fundamentals like time blocking, maximizing my time, making sure that hell or high water, I prospect every single day. I hit my count. And I got to the point where I was setting 2 appointments a day. And the data, and I found the most cost-effective data resource that I could. And then I found models. And then it got to the point where I'd do 3 a day, and I would do it in less time. And I would find a way to optimize my process, because that didn't cost me hard money. And what happened is that forced me and my team to get so much better at what we did. And so we have kind of a rule of thumb, is that before we go out and spend money, is how much have we optimized what we're currently doing before we go to the next step. And I'm telling you right now, with a very small budget, if you optimize your sales and marketing process, starting with how disciplined you are with your time blocking, you prospect every day, you get a basic CRM in place, you get your database in place with some automated marketing, you can do 100 to 150 transactions. If you're a loan officer, you can do 100, 150 units. You can do a lot with not a huge budget. You don't have to go out and spend $10,000 a month. Actually, recently did a case study with one of my clients. Based on their conversion rate on Zillow leads compared to working their SOI in their past client database, as they continue to work that religiously, they would have had to spend $250,000 on Zillow leads to get the same results they were getting through their own prospecting, follow-up, and database nurturing and touch point plan. They went from and that's an example of maximizing your resources. One simple thing: they weren't asking for referrals, right? They wouldn't ask me for referrals. So it's about strategy. It's about looking at ways to exponentially scale your business without spending money, maximizing resource. And the best person I would say that there is to teach on this is Jay Abraham. He talks about how to get all that you have out of all that you got. That's I think a book that he has, and that book changed how I do business, combined with some of the things that I've experienced with Tony Robbins and other mentors. But seriously, with no capital, and here's what I want to encourage you with no capital, literally, I became independently wealthy in the short order of 3 years with no outside capital, scaling a massive business. And so I want to encourage you, it's not just about the resource, it's about how resourceful you are. Remember that, and go out and crush it in 2021 with that mindset. Don't think you can just spend your way there. It's not going to happen. So that'd be my advice to that question, is if you have a small budget, what would you do? Optimize your process, focus on getting better, and focus on creating disciplined habits, and you will make it, and you will make it big.